Well, hello, Cancer, and thank you for watching this July 2014 forecast. I wanted to try to get it out a little early because I really believe that there's some specific planetary happenings that, there's a pattern right now, and it's setting us up for each change that's coming up throughout the whole year. So this month, right now, I'm just going to focus on Mercury in Gemini retrograde and Jupiter coming into Leo July 17th. I think that those are two very, very big and important events. And I think that this Mercury retrograde is preparing us. And so I want everyone to really take advantage of this. I really do. Cancer, you guys have Mercury retrograde in Gemini in your 12th house. So, gosh, that's our place of subconscious. So, on the difficult side of that, you might be feeling a lot of confusion. You might be feeling, like you're just having a hard time seeing clearly right now. It could be very fuzzy, or you might be starting to have some very deep emotional feelings of the past that maybe you pushed aside. Cancers they're pretty good at kind of, trying to, make dinner, take care of the house, do all the things that make them feel complete, but sometimes not really looking at some of the emotional baggage that they've been carrying along. And one thing about the Cancer is they have the number one most incredible memory. So when something touches you emotionally, you guys feel it in a different way. The Pisces also feels it, but the Pisces wants to kind of go through the process and then forget about it. They don't want to keep it going because they just have too many things that they'd have to carry. But the Cancer is more comfortable being able to go in their shell and kind of nurse their wounds and remember every word and every thought and, everything about the scenario. It's like they remember what music was playing in the background. And that can be hard, and especially with Mercury and Gemini in your 12th house right now. That's a really deep place for these memories and these scenarios to be being stirred. But it's important. It's very, very important. It's important because we can't go forward until we've really, made peace with our past, made peace with our relationships, made peace with scenarios. And I think one thing it's really important to remember is the fact that, everybody's struggling. Everybody's trying to get this, trying to walk this journey. We're all on different paths. And somebody, you might make a judgment about somebody. And, they change. They may grow. Are you willing to let them grow and change? Or are you wanting to hold on to the old wounds? These are going to be kind of the things you may be struggling with right now. And it's important to struggle with them, because again, they are down in there. And when we get hurt, a lot of times, those are the things that pop out of our mouth. And, you're talking to someone and they're here in the future and you're still back here using like ammunition those painful scenarios because they're still possibly really fresh in your heart. So with Mercury coming into your 12th house and retrograding, it's going to be taking you back, having you take a look at those things again. What things can you let go of? Why don't you paint another picture of that story? Is that memory of that situation really the truth of what happened? A lot of times, we tell ourselves a story when we're hurt or we go through things and, we all have our own story of how we look at it. And it's in our perceptions that a lot of times keep us imprisoned. But, as a writer, I'm learning how to tell the story from many, many different angles. What about, because you guys love, if you guys love to write or you love to read, it's the romantic novels. Take that story How many different ways can you look at it? Write it a little differently. Give it a little romance. Light a candle in that story. Look at it differently. And that's what this retrograde is here to do, is really wants to get in there and keep healing those wounds. Because with Jupiter in Cancer in your first house all year, you know, you've been highlighted. You're up to bat. People are noticing you. You know, you've got a strong presence. And it's expanded. And you know, you're taking back your life. But it's important to let go of those wounds. And a lot of times we don't know they're there until the universe so conveniently brings them to the surface. So that's really important. Jupiter is going to be moving into your second house in Leo on July 17th, and that's daily money. You're going to have the sun all year long expanding ways you can make money, your values, what's important, you know, those things that a lot of times are important to you as a child, the innocent values that we have, the idealistic values that we have before we've, you know, kind of gotten out there in the world and realized it's not exactly as we'd hope, that fairy tale. Well, I think that with Jupiter and Leo being here, those things that you value, there's going to be a joy. There's going to be excitement. There's going to be a love again for the day in and the day out ways of living in the now, not in the past, but in the now. How are you setting up your future? Every step of the way, every step of the way, as we are following this beautiful path astrologically, is preparing us for the next step. Are you prepared? Are you getting prepared? Or are you just in this storm not knowing what's going on? You know, you guys are smart and you know what's important. So go back to basics. Go back to the things that you hold dear and embrace them again. Give them new life. Don't give up on them. Don't get the bitter attitude. You know, you can make it happen. With the sun there, anything's possible. So I'm excited for you guys as well to see what's going to happen this year. All right, guys. If you want a reading or want to check out my other services, you can go to cowgirlastrologer.com. Talk to you later.